million. The Anaheim Ducks just matched the most insane offer sheet in NHL history to keep Leo Carlsson, but with an $18 million cap hit, did Pat Verbeek just save the franchise or trap it in a salary cap nightmare? Let's break down the massive fallout of this record-breaking deal right now. So we're going to go to an article from our friends at Canucks Army. This one written by our good buddy Tyson Cole. And as we mentioned, the Anaheim Ducks match the $18 million AAV offer sheet from the Philadelphia Flyers. They, of course, had until tomorrow to do it, but they decided to match it early this morning. And let's go ahead and dive right into it. So, as I just mentioned, on Thursday morning, the Anaheim Ducks announced that they have matched the Philadelphia Flyers' offer sheet for Leo Carlsson. He will remain in Southern California for the next 5 seasons at what is, at the time of this writing, the highest AAV in the NHL at $18 million a season, $90 million over the course of 5 years. Anaheim would have received Philadelphia's next 4 first-round picks if they had decided not to match the offer sheet. As we mentioned, 9:18 this morning, the Ducks themselves announced that they were matching the offer sheet. In the press release announcing the signing, Ducks owner Henry and Susan Samueli released this statement. Matching the offer sheet was an easy decision, as Pat has intelligently, I beg to differ, but left enough cap space to give us the ability to retain Leo, said the Samuelis. They mentioned that was an easy decision, and yet it took them almost a week to do it. I don't know if it was that easy as so they claim. We have extremely high expectations for Leo. We firmly believe he will continue his strong growth trajectory and become one of the truly elite centers in the league while continuing to make a strong impact in our community. That I have agreed with 100%. We also heard from the Ducks general manager, Pat Verbeek. We are very happy to have Leo under contract for 5 years, said Verbeek, but probably not at $18 million. We have viewed Leo as a franchise player since the moment we met him prior to the 2023 draft. He's a character person on and off the ice. Leo is viewed as a top player in this league, and it was always our intention to match any offer sheet, which is true because that is exactly what Pat Verbeek said prior to the offer sheet being, offered by the Flyers. Carlson, 21, was drafted 2nd overall by the Ducks in 2023. The 6'3" centerman is coming off a career year where he scored 29 goals and 38 assists for 67 points in 70 games. Now, of course, with Carlson's $18 million AAV now on the books, the Ducks have just over a hair over $9 million in available cap space remaining, and they still have to sign 40 goal scorer Cutter Gauthier, who is probably going to want something in the 10 to $12 million range, or maybe even 14. Names such as Alex Killorn and Frank Vatrano, who are making 6.25, that is Killorn, and 4.57, that's Vatrano, in AAV, respectively, have come up as possible trade candidates to clear cap space. However, teams around the NHL will now know that the Ducks' desperation to clear cap space will likely ask for a significant sweetener to take on that money, which is why Verbeek might be in a tough spot having, matched this offer sheet. On the backhand, the Ducks are hurting, and this is a major concern for the Anaheim Ducks. Their backhand is pretty bare. Granted, they have, Jackson Lacombe, who's going to be their number 1 defenseman, but they also lost John Carlson, Radko Gudas, Jacob Trouba, and Olen Zellweger this offseason. They only brought in Nick Jensen. That leaves them with, as I mentioned, Lacombe, Mintukov, who they, of course, extended prior to this offer sheet, them matching it. They have Jensen, Ian Moore, Drew Hellison, Tyson Hines, and Tristan Luneau as their 7 defensemen. So they still have some work to do when it comes to their, defense core, and they don't have a whole lot of cap space to do so. So like I said, they're going to have to make some moves, and teams are going to know, and they're going to take advantage of that. Now, the Flyers lose out on finding their 1C of the future with this move. However, they have a pair of RFAs, Trevor Zegras and Jamie Drysdale, who both filed for salary arbitration. If they want to stay aggressive and target another RFA center, you got Connor Bedard, although he is going to be out for 4 months because of an injury. They also have Adam Fantilli, who they can offer sheet, but I'm pretty sure Columbus would match that. both those guys did not file for arbitration and can sign offer sheets. We will see how the Flyers choose to use their $29.5 million in cap space the rest of the summer, since they have missed out on Leo Carlsson. I want to take a look at Carlson himself and what he said about this offer sheet. So we're going to go to a different article on Daily Faceoff, and he said exactly this. It was an offer that 99% of people would sign to. He is absolutely correct there. I don't think there's anyone who would say no to $18 million a year. It's a pretty simple answer. I really wanted to be here, though. I really wanted them to match. I want to be an Anaheim Duck. So Carlson is making it known that he never wanted to leave the Ducks. He is trying to, justify him signing that offer sheet. And that is the same quote. And then we have something, he says a little bit more. He goes, Carlson noted that any normal person wouldn't pass up such a lucrative offer, and he's 100% correct, as I mentioned. It's more like when you see that number, it's hard to say no. I mean, almost impossible to say no to that, which my teammates understand too completely. They would have done the same thing. The Swedish star added that he had spoken with his teammates in Anaheim, who were all very supportive of his decision. It was just too good to pass on. I think everybody understands that too. I talked to my teammates a lot, and everybody was just super happy for me and supportive with the decisions I made too. I don't think I had one bad reaction. They were all super happy for me or super stoked for me. They just said that I deserve it and hope that I stayed. Ducks general manager Pat Verbeek told reporters that serious and fair offers were made to Carlson back in September, but as they closed in on free agency this summer, he felt like something like this might happen. Now, of course, we all know, or maybe you don't know, but Carlson himself said about a year ago that he would have signed for like $9 million a year ago. And the fact that Verbeek didn't, jump at that, I don't know. And he goes on to say there were serious and fair offers. I'm assuming he means from the Ducks to Carlson, but I'm not really buying that because we all know the type of general manager that Pat Verbeek is, especially with his RFAs. Now, a few days before, Verbeek said, I felt like I was being slow walked to July 1st and told ownership I felt like an offer sheet was coming our way. They probably were not expecting an $18 million offer sheet, though. Verbeek, who selected Carlson's second overall in the 2023 NHL draft, acknowledged his importance to the franchise as they continue to build towards becoming a legitimate contender. The day that we drafted him, we viewed him as a cornerstone. Leo and I have a great relationship. I wonder if that might be a little rocky after this whole offer sheet fiasco. Now, this whole thing has been worked through. My feelings for Leo haven't changed since the day we drafted him. I don't know if I'm really buying that. Maybe I'm just looking at it from an outside perspective, but I think I would not be surprised if things got a little rocky between Carlson and the Ducks, and in particular Verbeek. There's been talk about Leo Carlsson maybe being the next captain of the Anaheim Ducks. Does that change because there's some hurt feelings because of this offer sheet? We don't know. I guess we shall see. Of course, Carlson has been an important figure in Anaheim's lineup since his rookie season in 23-24. This past year, he set career highs in goals, assists, and points with 29, 38, and 67, respectively, helping the Ducks reach the Stanley Cup playoffs for the first time in 8 years. The team won its first postseason series since 2017, defeating the Edmonton Oilers before falling to the Vegas Golden Knights in round 2. I really was rooting for the Anaheim Ducks for most of this playoffs. If you guys have watched this channel, I did a lot of watch parties for that particular series, or at least with the Oilers series. You guys know I was rooting for the Anaheim Ducks. The 21-year-old notched 11 points in 12 playoff contests. Now, I want to shift over to Puckpedia and take a look at their cap situation that we talked about. As I mentioned, just a little under, or a hair under $10 million. They have $9 million in cap space there. Obviously $18 million right there. They got Mikael Granlund at $7 million for the next 2 seasons. He will be a UFA in 28-29. He's also 34 years old. I don't see them moving off of Granlund because they also traded away Mason McTavish. So that probably they would not want to trade Mikael Granlund. They have Troy Terry, who's going to be on the IR, who had, I believe it was hip surgery. He's making $7 million until 2030. You got Chris Kreider, who will be a UFA next season. And then same thing with Alex Killorn. Kreider is obviously making slightly more than Killorn. Kreider is 35. Killorn is 36. Now, a lot of people are talking about Frank Vatrano and him being a potential trade chip. Because he's making $4.5 million. And for the next 2 seasons, he's 32, and he only had 9 points in 50 games last season. Now, a lot of people have also said his contract between these 3 is probably going to be the hardest to move because there's 2 years attached to it. He did not play well last year, and he was a healthy scratch in the playoffs. And teams, like I mentioned earlier, are probably going to want a sweetener. So if they are try to unload Vatrano, teams are going to be like, we want a little something, a little something extra. I think it would be more wise if they, tried to move off of Killorn and Kreider, because those are probably going to be the easier of the 3 to move. I mean, yes, Kreider and Killorn are older than Vatrano and have a higher cap hit, but they're also going to be UFAs next season. So they could be more so maybe a deadline move, as in, trade deadline, but they're definitely, it's not just one guy they need to get rid of. They need to get rid of more than one. And a lot of people are pointing towards Frank Vatrano, Killorn, and Kreider as the 3 who could be on, the out. And then that way they can actually sign Cutter Gauthier, who, like we said, needs a contract. And, and he's, of course, offer sheet ineligible, so a team cannot offer sheet him. And like I mentioned off the top, Gauthier is going to want like between 10 to 12, maybe even 14 million, especially knowing that Leo Carlsson's making 18. And Gauthier had more points than Carlson last year, and he had more goals. He had 40 goals. So he's going to want to get paid. And honestly, if I were Gauthier, I would honestly do 3-year deal at $10 million. No. And then, obviously get a bigger payday in 3 years. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about the Ducks matching the Carlson offer? I'll admit, at first I was like, for sure they got to match it. And then after they signed Mintugov, I was like, I don't know if they're going to do it because they're going to put themselves in cap hell. And hey, they may, swerve their way out of this. Who knows? But I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts. And of course, if you guys enjoyed this breakdown, on your way out, you can like the video and subscribe to the Line Change for more Canucks, NHL, and off-season related content. You can also become a member of the Line Change by smashing that join button. And now a quick and important message from our friends over at DraftKings. It all came down to it, a best-of-6 battle that saw the Carolina Hurricanes emerge as the Stanley Cup champions. Now as we enter the offseason, DraftKings has you covered every step of the way. The DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states and includes all markets. Sweat every shift of the series all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers sign up with code THPN, spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code THPN in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, that text pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Void in Ontario. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involves risk of loss. Sportsbook bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in predictions dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawable reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next